So we got all the trusses up. Now we got to start tying them together. Get the back buttoned up. Well, we finished combining last night. Technically, we're not done with harvest because I haven't finished drying everything out. But we're done combining, and yeah, we got a lot of work to do this fall. But I said after harvest, we're gonna get this milk house done. It got cold, we need to get it done. So here we are. We just bought a lot of lumber. It's gonna get really busy this week because we got to get this done. I got to get things cleaned up, put away, and I got a lot of tile work to do this fall. So yeah, hopefully we have a good winter and we can just keep rolling into January is my hope. Otherwise, be a really busy spring. We're gonna do some fall anhydrous too. Might not be able to do that. So, but we got to get this done. So yeah, no rest. There's just no rest for the wicked, and the righteous don't need it, you know? For those of you that haven't seen what we're doing with the milk house, I'll get you up to date. So I removed the roof, the flat roof, and then I stripped it down, so we're ready to start putting rebar and some saccharine into the walls to reinforce, and then ready rod to put the new header. Now we're stacking 2x6s to get a big header. Then we're gonna run 2x6s across and build rafters. So this had a flat roof. Now we're gonna have an actual roof. I don't know that we'll get it like done so we can heat it and insulate it, but it'll be a shelter because this is where we keep our water for the cattle. This, we really need to get this done. And we're building a new breezeway, so there used to be a breezeway here. We're building a new one. All right, so Tuesday morning, I started working on the milk house again. Yesterday, Monday, I messed around with equipment all day, kind of unhooking the chopper and hooking the stock chopper up and cutting hay. I cut that cover crop feed, took the auger down, put that away. Had to move the feed mill to get the stock chopper out. Had to move the chisel plow to get the stock chopper out. Got the chisel plow hooked up and hauled some corn last night and chisel plowed last night till kind of late, and stock chop last night till kind of late. Now the weather's a lot warmer today. Starting to work on the milk house. We're gonna try our best to have this mostly framed by the weekend, and I gotta try and bale hay in there and stuff. But what I'm doing today is this old block wall isn't very strong. So I punched holes. They had just put concrete on top of the blocks. And I punched holes in that concrete, and I'm fitting rebar down there. And a buddy of mine had some rebar that was bent, and I'm straightening the rebar and going to shove it down there and pour some sand mix saccharine down in there to strengthen that up, and then weld ready rod to that, and we'll bolt the header on here. So, but I just ran out of oxygen in the torch. So I got to go get oxygen because we got to cut that. I got the welder out there so I can weld those pieces of rebar together and then weld the ready rod to them. And I'm hoping tomorrow to put the header on this. I got to work on this till close to evening, and then I got some more corn I want to haul. If you haul at night, there isn't many people hauling in, which is nice. So I'm going to go get some oxygen and let's see what happens. So here's what I've been doing. I cut ready rod off, welded to the rebar that I straightened, and then I shoved these down in the blocks. Then I put them down in the blocks like that, and then we're gonna dump Quikrete down there, but it's just sand mix, so it should flow a lot better. But we're gonna try and get 2 on each wall, actually 3 on the longer wall over there. I'm just mixing up this sand concrete mix. There's no rock in it. That's why it's just sand mix. But it is, you know, obviously Quikrete, some kind. So I'm gonna try and pour that down over that ready rod. All right, so we're hauling corn down to the new railroad terminal. Yeah, when they got lit up around here. So it's kind of nice. They're open till 10 o'clock at night. So seems like we haul in here late. Just there isn't many people, so you're not waiting. But pretty neat. setup, really. Really neat setup, actually. Yeah. So I gotta load up one more yet and bring that down probably tomorrow night, or I don't know, or the day after, whatever. But then I should have enough room for to empty the harvester, dry that corn out. So yeah, quite a setup here. So I guess that's 5,000 bushel an hour that run through that dryer right now, and they're not keeping up. So there's still a fair amount of wet corn coming in, I guess. But see, there's 2 dryers, I think. Yeah. Wow. That's setup. Huh. I'm just calling in my dry corn here, because I have a dryer. But still, that's cool. Yeah. So yesterday afternoon, fired the dryer back up. Dryer was working great. We have plenty of LP to finish out drying. And after a few hours, I went, oh, I should turn the fan on, you know. And went to turn the fan on, and nothing. You could hear it thunk, like the starter, the thunk. And even the blade would flinch, but that was it. And I'm like, well, what the heck? Tried kicking it and pounding on it like the Fonz would. Nothing. So finally, I break down and I start checking for power. And I tried to go direct. So I thought I'd bypass the starter and put the wires together and hit the breaker. Nothing, you know. So, now, for the record, I'm not an electrician. I know enough about electricity to be dangerous. I'm good with 12-volt stuff. This stuff, yeah. I'm just enough to be dangerous. So anyways, today I end up checking for power. As it turns out, I only had one lug had power. So it's this breaker here, and I get checking. Only one lug on here has power. So I'm going to pull this breaker. And hopefully they got one uptown. I hope. And then I can hopefully get the bin fan running and start the dryer back up. All right, so I got the new breaker in. Here's the old one. I had to cut the one wire. It just, that head was bad there. But the new one feels way better than this one did. And I don't know, you know, this breaker here, I can't think it never tripped. So I don't know what happened. I guess things just get old. Like, one that trips a lot, you think it gets hot and stuff. But this one, I don't know. But maybe when it was, you know, I don't remember what piece of equipment this ran when this was all for the barn with the dairy. So maybe it was the vacuum pump or the receiver jar or something that would act up. I got a lot of help here. These kitties are really funny. Where's your sibling? We're missing the gray one. So let's go try this. Moment of truth. There we go. I'm not like the best mechanic or the best plumbing, electrician, carpenter, etc. But when you don't have money, you have to try and figure stuff out on your own. Now, if I couldn't have got it, we'd have to call somebody. But sometimes when you have money, you're just like, well, just hire it done. I can't afford that. As a small farmer, I need to do everything, and that's the only way it works. So, yeah, I'm really happy I got that going. I feel good. All right. So some of this ready rod was taller than others, so I went up here, cutting some of these off. It actually turned out really nice. The walls are a lot stronger than they were once we get the header on here and start running rafters across. I actually feel good about these walls now. And then next year we can worry about that. So I cut down, there was flashing up there because originally there was a feed room and breezeway that came over here. And that's the old flashing. but we got to secure a header across here. So I cut that flashing off of there, nails in it and everything, and I removed an old electrical box that was here that doesn't do anything. And this electrical box could go, except it's a junction box. That's all this is. The ground isn't used, nothing. It's just a junction box. So this does need to stay. So the plan is to hold the header up here. We got treated 6x6s. One will go there, one will go here, one will go here. So Thursday night, I am stock chopping. I'm right here at home, right in front. Kind of cool. I'm drying corn now, so this is the end of drying for the year. It's kind of cool. You see it? Just cool view of the farm, you know, with all the lights on and the dryer going here. Yeah, I enjoy this. But yeah, we're stock chopping, so I have, let's see, probably there'll be 60, a little over 60 acres, 62, 63 acres of corn on corn. So that has to be stock chopped and then chisel plowed. The rest of it, corn on bean stubble. Some of it all work, and some of it all no-till. Yeah, I gotta chop the stalks and chisel plow it. I don't have a chopping head, so we get Clifford out and stock chop with Clifford, and you know, I don't want to be out here without a cab, or you know, on Larry's 1456, the lights don't work. It needs I think it probably needs a harness. So yeah, it's kind of nice to use Clifford for this job, but I got to unhook Clifford. He said he's been getting worked. I cut hay with him. I can't remember if I showed you guys cutting hay, but I cut hay on Monday, that cover crop feed. So I'm hoping Sunday maybe to bale that. Good feed, but there's oats in there, so it's kind of a pain because the rats like to go for that stuff. They'll chew the strings off of it. But hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, so we are gonna stock chop for a little while. I wish you guys could smell this. There's diesel everywhere. So Clifford's fuel gauge, the sending unit's sticky on it. So I was filling it with fuel, sitting in the cab, and I'm watching it come up, and I'm like, man, it's going slow, but it is moving. I'm like, I better just get out there. Right as I was opening the door, yeah, it started to overrun. And you can see it's full. I mean, the gauge works. It's just sometimes it sticks, and yeah. So I got diesel everywhere, and it was running, so the engine fan blew diesel all over everything. So I wiped it down, but it's going to be kind of a dusty tractor with all this dust. Stock chopping is dust. So, kind of a neat old stock chopper. Maybe I'll show you guys tomorrow in the daylight, but it's a Brilliant. Brilliant was pretty famous for those, made in Wisconsin. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoy another farming day, but we're also showing the Milkhouse. So, yeah. So we got the first row of boards for the header, and this is treated. The next ones won't be treated, but where the blocks meet the concrete, we wanted to have it. So as you can see, these are all bolted down, and now we're going to overlap them to tie all the walls together. Worked out really good. Yeah. All right, so now, we put the second layer on the header, so it's connected now. It's all interlocked. But we couldn't do the third layer because we need to get the breezeway done. So the top one's gonna go across there and form our outer wall for the breezeway. And then we need the back wall of the breezeway. So now we got this done. We got 6x6s we just kind of half attached to the barn here. But then once we got our 2x6s on top, we got two 2x6s because there's a gap in here to hold it. Now we got these attached, and these are attached to the barn, and then we're gonna ready rod the post to the concrete too. But now we got a good spot to run our rafters up. So be a rafter here, and there'll be a rafter here, and we'll just cut out the sheeting for that. But now it feels good. We're actually getting somewhere. Like, this is solid now. Those 6x6s, you know, were wobbly, so we had to shim them out because there's conduit that runs behind. And we got an old wall that was concrete that I busted part of it, but you couldn't get it all flush because it was poured. So we shimmed that out, and now these are attached really good. I feel real good about how this is going right now. So it went really fast there with new lumber, and you know, now it's gonna take some time figuring out the geometry of these rafters, but that's next step. We anchored the footer to the concrete. Got my dad's old hammer drill out, Bosch hammer drill, Bosch Bulldog. He bought that back in the early 90s for the hog barns. So yeah, now we're gonna start building the rafters. That's as tight of a header as we could get to get a 80-inch door, a 32 by 80 inch door. So we can hang a door in there. Yeah, this is all tied in now to the Milkhouse roof. So we're gonna start building rafters. So it's gonna go slow for a little while. And then once we figure that out and the sheeting, then it should go fast again, I hope. All right, so Friday night, we got a little over half the rafters. There's gonna be 7 total rafters. We got 4 of them done. I need to go get more lumber in the morning and OSB. We're gonna try and sheet it yet. And with a little luck on Sunday, we can put steel on the roof. But we're gonna try and get OSB on tomorrow. The rafters, we got a game plan now. So that shouldn't take long. This week, I'll pick up a door. We're gonna have a door here. I wanna find a little window to stick in between the the studs so I can look right out at the dryer. The original window is in the Milkhouse. I can see the harvester. So if you can see, you know, everything, the augers here, you can dry corn, and you can sit in here and keep an eye on stuff. Will be real nice. But yeah, a lot of figuring out to make it all work, but it turned out pretty nice so far. I'm happy. So yeah, hopefully Sunday I put this video up and we're putting tin on. So we're getting her boxed up. Anyway, kind of cool. I got to make a little piece for that. That's bothering me. I thought, well, we'll cover it with steel, but still, I'm gonna make a quick little piece for that. We should be able to use screws to go on either side of it, I think. Then this is sealed good, you know. Yeah, we're getting someplace, kind of. All right, so Sunday night, we are working on the back wall here again. We got the Tyvek up and 3 sheets of steel, but we're doing the cutout for along the barn wall here. But hopefully we'll get this up, then we're gonna roll out tar paper and lay steel on the roof here. And we're gonna get the roof done. The ends won't be done, but they're all got OSB on them. So if we can get the roof on though and flashed here, end cap on, yeah, we'll be good. So Sunday night, gonna call it a night. But yeah, I'll show you in the daylight. But we've got a roof that's sealed up pretty much. We didn't Tyvek the sides yet. The back though, you saw it, we got that all sealed up good. Still gotta put in the Tyvek the end tins, the door and the window yet. And then put this, there's a 1x6 that goes across the front. But at least this way, if it weather turns or something, we don't have to worry about wrecking things from getting wet. So, okay, so Monday morning, this is kind of the aftermath. Like, it was a big deal this weekend. There was a lot of work me and a buddy of mine did. My dad made a trip to Menards for me, though, which was good. But here's how it looks in the daylight. So the outside corner is on the north end. We didn't put the steel up on the north end yet, but that's okay. Probably get a Tyvek, but I'm not too worried about that because it's not like that's going to get wet. Now the back of it, where a west wind would hit it and stuff, wanted to get that done. So we got that buttoned up back there. Maybe this week, a couple of evenings, we'll finish these ends. And but yeah, we got to put the 1x6 across the front here yet. But in the meantime, we got the roof is weatherproof. I guess that's the big thing. We got it flashed to the barn. This end is not done because we got to get the steel up there because there's no overhang on this side. So we got to get the steel up, then we'll put the outside corner on. But couple more things we should do in here is we could run a brace on these rafters yet. We did the ends, but we should probably do ones in the middle too. But yeah, it turned out really nice, I think. That's how we got it, flashed around the barn. So, we have this this change in the wall here with the offset. So I think that turned out good. Next summer I'll blackjack that. Planning on spray foaming all this is the plan. But man, now the walls feel solid again with with that header on there. We interlocked the header. Now the windows here, like that window is busted, that window is busted. I'm taking them out of that vacuum pump room because we're gonna demo that vacuum pump room, I think. So we'll grab those windows and put them in there, and yeah, it's kind of cool. A lot of cleanup yet in here, which we did clean it up. Dad will come over and give me a hand. We're going to get lights in here. We're gonna add another outlet in the barn too, but yeah, get our window in and our door in this week. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. We did a lot, since we started this project. So between demoing the old Milkhouse and actually, so this breezeway part here, this was part of a big feed room, and I demoed this 6 years ago. But yeah, doing the rest of the demo here this fall, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy we got this far. So, well, there you go. It was a big week for the barn.